Hey guys, welcome into the PuggoReborn channel. We are back with another dev blog from OverHype Studios, 143 Nomads. Before I go rolling into this, just know in the description, or in the description below, yes, there are timestamps that go for everything. If you want to just hear the reading, you want to hear my thoughts and opinions. Also, just an update for the channel at the very end. Also, the last thing I need you to know is that we have I just dropped the top 10 most dreaded enemies. If you want to check that out, you can hit the description in the description below. There's a video to that. There's short videos coming out as well. Mine came out today. Redemptions will come out tomorrow. So if you are looking for anything Battle Brothers, guys, this is the channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Without further ado, Nomads. Alright. With the Blazing Deserts DLC releasing on August 13th, we've now entered the final leg of development. We're currently ironing out all the bugs and balancing issues. We've been able to show, or we will be able to show, actual gameplay in motion before release. Now, let's take a look at the new human faction that we only mentioned in passing so far. Nomads. The southern deserts are dominated by mighty city-states that impose their will on surrounding lands. Outside the gates lies barren wastelands that home to another people. They are called the Nomads. They are a proud and free people that reject the strict and sometimes oppressive city-state laws, their harsh criminal system, and their corruption. But by doing so, they also reject many of the achievements of city-states, which, for all their flaws, are also a place of knowledge and science that have disposed. Superstition where there is a stability and order, and where there is food and water aplenty. Beautiful. Nomads travel the barren desert for one source of water to the next, hunting, scavenging, and living the freedom that they chose. Faced with surviving in the harsh environment, many nomads turn to banditry. It's not all of them, of course, but as the mercenary in this world, it's who you'll be dealing with most of the time. Nomads have a roster of their own, roughly similar to the northern brigands, but their own equipment and unique skills. Yes, shasha. I am sure everybody is making a joke right now. I did see on Reddit, the first thing I saw was shasha, and when I clicked into this, I saw this. So, yes, King of the Hill references through the roof. Thank you, Dale Gribble. Gribbit. But anyways, home in the desert and experience in the desert warfare, nomads use the environment to their advantages, quite literally, in that they throw sand in the face of their opponents, inflicting a new distracted status effect. A distracted target will inflict less damage and less initiative for a single turn. That is really stinking clever. I have not actually read this. I have been so busy today, I haven't had a chance to read it. I just kind of skimmed through looking at the pictures and stuff. And that is actually really cool. I'm excited to go over that. All right, so cutthroats and outlaws. Nomad cutthroats and outlaws are roughly equivalent to brigand thugs and brigand raiders. They tend to have less armor than their northern cousins in crime, but are more evasive. Ooh. And their culture pride affords them a slightly higher resolve, and thus making them harder to break. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Sorry, I probably should have looked at some of this stuff before I dove in, but this is very interesting. And I have some great news at the very end as well, once we get into the discussion part. So, wearing traditional Nomad armor fashioned from leather and hemp, they're armed with commonly available southern weapons like staffs, scimitars, and spears. But they also make up whips in battle and use Nomad mace, not found anywhere else. That is freaking sweet. That is awesome. Thank goodness that they added this. It's probably gonna be super annoying, but still. Slingers and archers. Nomad slingers and nomad archers are roughly equivalent to brigand poachers and brigand marksmen. Slingers are armed with nomad slings, a different variant of the regular sling staff or staff sling, while archers use the composite bow. The bow has lower range than regular bows, but performs better against armor, putting it in between the regular bows and crossbows on the spectrum. That is very okay. There is some good stuff to digest here. Leaders and specialists. Larger congregations of nomads are led by a nomad leader roughly equivalent to the brigand leader, and may also be supported by higher tier specialists. Okay. A desert stalker is a master of using bows and killing from afar. The nomad executioner is heavily armored, an armored individual that likes to solve disputes by slugging it out with two-handed weapons. And the desert devil is a blade dancer of sorts, a whirlwind on the battlefield, wielding a scimitar, or a shamshir, or a sword lance. He's not quite skilled in a duel as a sword master, but makes up for the fact of being considerably more agile and less vulnerable to getting peppered by arrows. Naturally, all these characters may also appear as champions. Okay, with name gear if you own the Warriors of the North DLC. I think that's okay. Yeah, let's go to the top here. Let's just start from the top. We'll work our way down. So first off, I want to say to you guys, I do know what devblog is coming up soon. It's going to be the second weapons pack. At the end of the first weapons pack, they talked about there was more weapons to be unveiled, and in fact, this article, this is the thing that I noticed first thing, is that this article showed a good portion of the weapons that we are going to get a first glimpse at here very soon. And so that's going to be exciting, so stay tuned to that in the coming weeks. However, the Nomads, it's nice that they actually dove into the Nomads. I had been questioning this earlier on, is what do the Nomads actually, they talk about them briefly, but we never really had insight as to the different classes of Nomads. So that's going to be really cool. I like that there's a background to this. And it's nice to know that they are, we might have actual civil interactions with these people, because it does say that a lot of they're getting away from the harsh criminal system and their corruption and the oppressive city-state laws and all these things. But in terms of like fight for survival, they're willing to take the route of killing people. So I'm very curious if they're not all bad, if there's really like communities that are good when you go there. That's going to be an interesting storyline to grab hold of, because it really does show that many nomads turn to banditry, so there is going to be the majority of the enemies as nomads, but I feel like we're going to come across some nice things. Now, in terms of unique skill, of course we can see the Shisha move. I'm going to call the Shisha. So the Shisha is very cool. This is an amazing thing. When I saw this, I had thought today, what could this possibly mean? And in fact, I did think initiative would come into play. However, I thought your melee defense would drop, and like your defense in general would drop. How much? I was thinking probably like 5-10%. But this is actually better, because while you're distracted, in terms of the distraction, you may have gotten hit in the eyes. And if you've ever been dazed or distracted or something and you're doing something, I know in sports especially, there's something where someone will run into you and you have to recuperate for that second. Understand that when you're playing Battle Brothers, every turn isn't literally minutes. It's seconds just played out in a longer time frame. So it's literally a slugfest. You don't notice that because, of course, turn-based strategy. So the distracted side of it is somebody hits you. If you're playing dodgeball and you get hit in the face and you catch the ball, like you catch the ball and it smacks you in the face right in the same time, you're going to be a little bit out of it for a moment and you have to recoup yourself. So if you were to get hit and you just saw the first person go to throw, you may hit them, but it's not going to be the velocity that you could fully aware. So the initiative drop and something being able to attack you ahead of turn, and also if you do hit somebody, it's going to be less damage. I think that that's very unique and very cool. It's not anything we've ever seen before. Now, going into the cutthroats and outlaws, I think this is incredible as well. You can definitely tell the armor. I love that they're showing the Nomad Armor. It is different. I love the helms, very unique helms. I'm curious, because of the variety, these are going to be your lowest tier right here. You got that's the new Sav, or however you say it. And then you got your normal spear, of course. This is your tier 2. And then this is the big thing that you guys, two things. Number one, this is a weapon we have not gone over yet, and I think they're going to release that there's two-handed. This is going to be a two-handed, like scimitar or scrimmasax. They're going to show, I have a feeling that it's going to be a two-handed scrimmasax, which is going to be sick. I was just talking with Redemption the other night, and we were talking about how could these weapons be more effective? Because if you can't get through armor, most of the things in the ultra late game, if you're building heavy, you're going to have to do duelist for one to really be effective, which they have clearly done. And you're either that or you're going to have a weapon to destroy armor, then get into health, which that combination, most people will tell you that that's not the best way to do things. It's better to just keep hitting the, one thing good about hammers is you're getting into health, 10 health at least every time, and also destroying armor. You have to have that synergy of both. So with a two-handed scimitar or scrimmasax or whatever you want to say, salve, which I don't think it'll be called that, I could see that being absolutely devastating, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I can't wait to see how they are going to unveil that, and I'm sure that that's why a lot of these weapons are probably the biggest thing being reworked. The second thing I want to say is the whips being added. I love whips. I have at least 2 whips on my front line. Every play I ever have, any playthrough, I try to get at least 4 total to switch out. The disarming ability, if I have a bags and belts brother, I always put back. I always do like the cleaver mastery, for the reason that I'm always going to either have a cleaver in the bags and belts, and I'm going to have a whip for the disarming ability, plus one strike with the whip is 40 bleed damage a turn. Yeah, that's sick. I love that there is just that variety. They look very beautiful. Not beautiful, well, okay. But they look great. Plus they're showing off, of course, the two-handed head beaner. Bang, right off the head. Now, in terms of the archers, I'm curious about the slings. I think it'd be cool to see a famed sling. I'm so stuck on the Legends mod. Legends mod has destroyed my mind in terms of the slings. They have an incredibly strong sling. However, when I talked to Jason, the one who does this, he did bring up the fact that whenever they do these DLCs and stuff, they are looking at the Legends mod heavily, and they're playing it because they want to see it in comparison. So I'm hoping that they did pull something from the Legends mod to make the Nomad sling, even a famed sling, be devastating in its own right in some way, shape, or form. As for this bow here, I cannot wait to try this as well. I've always wanted to have something in between. One minute I feel like crossbows are the way to go. The next minute I feel like warbows are. The heavy crossbow, I mean. So this center variance, even if it can't shoot as far, the damage of 2 shots and consistency is so beautiful next to throwing weapons. I can't wait to see how that's going to be unveiled, especially with Eagle Eye as well, if that doesn't push the pish apparently. But hopefully that does more. Final thing is leaders and specialists. The leaders and specialists, this is needed for every faction. A real special unit, and I can't wait. I just got done doing the top 10 most dreaded enemies, and so to see this, it just adds so much flavor. I can't wait. Someday I can't wait to go through and redo my talking about these different people. But this Ward Blade Dancer, I'm so thankful they added. I'm so thankful they added the blade dance, or the blade. What the heck is it called? No, I can't think of it. Sword Lance. I'm so thankful they added a Sword Lance, guys. This is one weapon that is incredible in the base game if you can build around it properly without destroying the weapon through its use. It's incredible, and we've seen this weapon many times as well, and this is all showing famed stuff. So this bow is definitely famed. The armor may be famed, but definitely the bow. The Sword Lance is famed. Now, I don't know if this is famed, but probably the armor. We have yet to see this armor. This headpiece we've seen that in the past. But either way, guys, this is going to be a new weapon that they're going to go over, that we're going to get to see. I cannot wait. If you're excited as I am, hip hip hooray, right? So without further ado, just to face a different variant where they're more nimble is going to be neat to see. And it's going to have to test what is the best way to take these guys out. And maybe the Nomad slings are going to be the way. Not to say take them out, but to be able to give them a debuff taking anything like poison might be the way to actually take these guys on. Take out their initiative, take out their fatigue, and they're rendered useless, let alone the result being as high as they are on check. But yeah, it's going to be awesome to try these guys out. Plus, just see a different variant of like what a sword master would be. So, all right. So the final thing I just want to say to you guys is top 10 video. Check those things out. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your guys' top 10. If there's other videos you guys would like to see, a top 5 of my favorite or my what I would consider is the best 5 two-handed weapons, if you want to see something like that. One of the things I wanted to do is go over the perks, do one perk at a time, give the basis of what it does, some of the strategies, and then get into a longer discussion so you guys have videos like that. Let me know. Like I said, this channel is a Battle Brothers primarily channel, and you know, of course I do other gameplays and stuff, but really with everything going on with Battle Brothers and just what could be adapted or adopted in the new DLC, with the new DLC coming out, I want to get ahead of the game with that. In terms of DLC, when we do go into early access, I will be I'll be playing the game for that week. I'll be giving away 3 copies of the DLC if you're interested in it. The one thing you need to do, 2 things you need to do. 1, subscribe to the channel, check out the content, and then subscribe. If you don't like the content, it's probably not worth subscribing. If you can afford the game and so on, check out the channel. You don't have to have that, obviously. It's not just that incentive. It's for those who cannot afford it, have a family, can't pay for it, have a brother or friend who can't afford it because they're in college, and maybe you're a college student, maybe you're just a teen, whatever. Whatever the case may be, let me know. And yeah, I am rambling today. Thanks for coming out to the channel, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!